Welcome to Vedic Mathematics Basis Base Values classes. Today, senior sadhakas on Gyatri Mantra-2 are also there with us. So, this day, that way as well, is a very blissful day. And further as that, today we are in the concluding lesson of phase 15. In this lesson 90, we will be face to face with the phenomenon of self-referral origin. Self-referral origin would mean 6 space in the role of an origin of 5 space. Hypercube 5 is the representative regular body of 5 space, and hypercube 6 is the representative regular body of a 6 space. 5 space with hypercube 5 as the representative body is a 4-fold manifestation layer with 6 space in the role of a origin, 5 space as transcendental domain, 4 space as creative boundary, and 3 space as a solid dimensional order. So 5 space hypercube 5 is a setup which is accepting solid dimension, 3 space in the role of a dimension, and we know that 4 space plays the role of origin of a 3 space, and 4 space also we know plays the role of a creative boundary of the transcendental domain. Therefore, 4 space as origin of 3 space, 4 space as boundary of 5 space, and 4 space as the dimension of 6 space. 4 space as dimension of 6 space, 4 space as boundary of 5 space, and 4 space as origin of 3 space, and 4 space itself is a creator's domain presided by hypercube, presided by Lord Brahma. Now here, when we want to be face to face with self-referral origin, means we want to be face to face with the self-referral origin as a seat of a Lord Skand. Lord Skand is a 6-headed Lord. Lord Skand is having a seat within the cavity of heart of Lord Shiva. So Lord Skand with its seat at the origin of the transcendental domain would mean that Lord Skand is having a seat within the cavity of heart of Lord Shiva. Now, this is a seat of a self-referral origin. 6 space is playing the role of an origin of a 5 space. Lord Skand with its placement at this self-referral origin, at this seat, will be taking us to the enlightenment where the 6 space itself with 4 space in the role of origin and 5 space in the role of a transcendental boundary. As such, the enlightenment of Lord Skand with a placement at a seat within the cavity of Lord Shiva at the origin of the transcendental domain is the enlightenment which will be having a creative churning at that seat, and this creative churning will create a transcendental boundary of 12 components for the self-referral domain. It is this self-referral boundary which is to provide us the enlightenment, or in other words, the enlightenment of Lord Skanda at the seat of self-referral origin within cavity of heart of transcendental Lord is the enlightenment of the Kailash Samhita. It is the reach of the Kailash Samhita. the reach, the end fruit value of the enlightenment of the Kailash Samhita is the enlightenment bestowed by Lord Skanda by having a placement as self-referral origin of the transcendental domain within the cavity of heart of the transcendental Lord. And in the process, we see that there would be a reach of the transcendental boundary for the self-referral domain. As such, this enlightenment of the Kailash Samhita by Lord Skanda with a placement as self-referral origin is of the order of the Kailash, means we are at the height, at the peak. It is the Kailash, it would be at the peak of the transcendental domain. So from within the origin, reach is going to be up till the end reach value of the transcendental domain. We further know that this transcendental domain in the process will have northern hemisphere and southern hemispheres with the opposite orientations. It is this reach in the opposite orientations is the reach which will help us appreciate how the Uma Samhita and the Kailash Samhita are in continuity, making an enlightenment of eternity. It is this enlightenment of eternity which is taking the sadhakas along the Gyatri Mantra. Gyatri Mantra is a text which is of 7, 8 and 8 is equal to 23 syllables. 23 aksharas are there. As such, we are now availing the format sadhakas along Gyatri Mantra Path, or availing the format of the aksharas. Therefore, we are at the Akshar Vidya. This Akshar Vidya is the Vidya which, when approached in terms of TCV values, will lead us to formulation Akshar, leading to TCV value 13, and Vidya is the formulation which, as per the TCV values, will take us to value 18. Both together will take us to value 31. And we know value 31 is the synthesis value of the pair of linear order transcendence ranges, and it makes a transcendental carrier of a linear order. Therefore, this Akshar Vidya is the Vidya which is becoming the Vidya of the transcendental carriers. Now, these transcendental carriers Vidya is to be appreciated in terms of the Vedic code value of the consonants, Vedic code value of the Devanagari alphabet. Now, this Vedic code values of the Devanagari alphabet associates the values with the Varga consonants only. There are 33 Varga consonants, 5 cross 5 Varga consonants, and 4 Anthastha letters, 4 Ushmana letters, making it a set of 33 letters. Of these 33 letters, the Nya, the fifth letter of the second row, Na, the fifth letter of the fourth row, so value 6 of the fifth letter and value 8 of the fifth letter here. So accept these 6 and 8, remaining 31 letters are associated Vedic code values. Therefore, we shall have a pause here and take note that the transcendental code values are the values which are attached to all the 50 letters of Devanagari alphabet. 9 vowels, 25 Varga consonants, 4 Anthastha letters, 4 Ushmana letters, and 8 Yama letters. All the 50 letters are associated transcendental code values. However, the consonants only, means the Varga consonants, Anthastha and Ushmana letters. These 33 consonants are associated the Vedic code values. 9 vowels. These 9 vowels are associated the akshar, means syllables values, and each of these 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, these all each are attached equal value 1 as 1 raised per 0, 2 raised per 0, reaching at 9 raised power 0. The Gayatri Mantra is the mantra which is availing a format of the Akshar Vidya. This Akshar Vidya means accepting the format of the vowels. These vowels, these 9 vowels, are having TCV values 1 to 9. However, as per the Akshar Vidya, each of these vowels is accepting the same value 1 as 1 raised per 0, 2 raised per 0, 9 raised per 0. We shall have a pause here and take note that the Gayatri Mantra is availing the aksharas, means the syllables format. These syllables, aksharas, are leading us to the syllables code values. So 9 vowels are associated values 1 to 9 by the transcendental code value system. Vedic code value system doesn't associate any values with these 9 vowels. However, the Akshar Vidya, the syllables values are associated to these 9 vowels, and each vowel is associated to the same value 1 as 1 raised per 0, 2 raised per 9 to 0. In each case, the value is 1. It is this feature which is to be faced, to be imbibed, to be appreciated by the sadhakas along the Gayatri Mantra. Along the Gayatri Mantra is a mantra which is of 23 syllables. Now these 23 syllables or this format is availing the Akshar Vidya. Now let us see that the Tat Savitar Vareniyam, the Tat Savitar Vareniyam, Tat Savitar Vareniyam, we see there is a 1 vowel here, there is 1 vowel here, 1 vowel here, 1 vowel here, 1 vowel is here, 1 vowel is here, and 1 vowel is here. We see there are in all 7 vowels. Therefore, Tat Savitar Vareniyam is the formulation of 7 syllables, and these 7 syllables are availing 7 vowels. Now each vowel is having a value 1 equal to that. As such, Tat Savitar Vareniyam, which is a composition of 7 syllables, is in fact availing the format of the 7 vowels. As such, value 7 gets associated with Tat Savitar Vareniyam, the first fold, first limb of the Gayatri Mantra. A step ahead, when we are at the second fold of the Gayatri Mantra, Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. Let us see, Bhargo is having 1 vowel here, and Ro is also having 1 vowel, De is also having 1 vowel, Va is having 1 vowel, Sa is having 1 vowel. So Dhi, Ma and Hi. See, these are 8 vowels. There are 8 syllables. So Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi is the composition of 8 syllables, and these 8 syllables are availing 8 vowels. Therefore, this limb Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi is having an association of 8 pillars, of 8 vowels, making them 8 syllables. So it is a value 8 which is parallel to the 8 vowels. We know the vowel, first vowel here is A, here is O, the 7th vowel, here is A, here is A, and here again is A, here is E, here is A, and here is Z. It would be a blissful that we shall revisit the formulation Tat Savitar Vareniyam as a composition of 7 syllables, and these 7 syllables are availing 7 pillars, 7 vowels, and we can tabulate these syllables and their vowels and then reach at the Akshar Vidya, the syllables counting, the swaras being availed for these compositions. A step ahead, the third limb is taking us to Dhyo Yona Parchodayat. This is a composition which is availing this syllable is availing one vowel, it is E. It is availing also one vowel, it is O. It is also availing one vowel, it is O. Here it is a one vowel A. Here is one vowel A. Here is one vowel O. Here is a vowel A. And here is a vowel capital A. So again there are 8 vowels. So there are 8 syllables. There are 8 vowels. These are the 8 pillars. This is a Akshar Vidya. Therefore, as per the syllables, the numbers, the values, format being availed. So let us sit comfortably. Let us permit our mind to be face to face with this composition of the Gayatri Mantra as of triple limbs, and these limbs are the compositions of 7 syllables, 8 syllables and 8 syllables, making it a total setup of 23 syllables. Further, let us revisit this composition of 3 limbs of 23 syllables, and each syllable is availing a single vowel, and as such the Akshar Vidya, as per the syllables numbers, as per the Aksharas as well, we are having as many as 23. Now further we see that the enlightenment of the Shiv Puran, the ancient wisdom, is that the goddess Parvati is a creative envelope of the transcendental domain. Parvati, goddess, is providing a creative format, 4 space in the role of a format as a creative boundary. So Parvati with a TCV value 23. Here the transcendental code value approach to the transcendental domain being enveloped within the creative boundary is of a TCV value 23. Now TCV value actually would mean we are taking to the value of the transcendental domain, means a value of a 5 space domain, and 5 space domain is a value of a solid order. We know 3 space as a dimension and 5 space as a domain. With addition gives us value 8, and 3 space as dimension and 5 space as domain gives us 15 as a product value, and both together give us value 23. It will further be blissful to take note that the linear order reach to solid order, reach to transcendental domain. It is a transcendental phenomenon. Therefore, transcendence within the transcendental domain is going to be on a linear order, which will take us to the solid domain, and the step ahead, the solid domain, will take us to a transcendental domain. So it is this 1, 3 and 5 will give us a value 9, and 1 into 3 into 5 will give us a value 15, and this together makes it a value 24, and it is equal to 4 into 6, which becomes equal to Purusha. So this Akshar Vidya of TCV values, when it is a value of a creative domain, when it takes us to value 23, then it becomes a value which is of a Akshar Vidya. However, from the Akshar Vidya, we can reach at a Paurushya, Purush Vidya, and from there ahead we will reach at Apaurushya, means so this Paurushya Vidya and Apaurushya Vidya means the Vidya of a Purush. Therefore, the sadhakas who are along the format of the Gayatri Mantra will ultimately transit and transform into a Purusha format. It is this phase and stage of enlightenment, of having a reach from Akshar Vidya to the Purush Vidya. to a Porsche format. Therefore, a reach along the Gayatri Mantra of its first phase is of the reach value of the Purusha Vidya. Therefore, the existence phenomenon within human frame, the existence phenomenon as we the sadhakas are having within our body, within our frame, is said to be a phenomenon, a Porsche Vidya. Those sadhakas who are along the format of a Gayatri Mantra, those who are having a sadhana along a Gayatri Mantra with the Gayatri Mantra are in fact having a sadhana of the goddess Parvati. This sadhana is a sadhana of 23 TCV value. It is a sadhana which goes parallel to the format of a Akshar Vidya of 23 value. This 23 value within a creator's space is of value 3 into 5 plus 3 plus 5, making it 23. However, when there is a transition from this dimonad format, spatial order format of a creator space for a reach at the origin of a creator space at the solid order origin, a transcendental domain of a solid order, then the transcendence within a domain will be from linear order to a solid order to a transcendental order. It will that way give us a value 1 plus 3 plus 5 is equal to 9, 1 into 3 into 5 is equal to 15, and it will give us a total value of 24. This value 24 is equal to 4 into 6, means equal to the TCV value of formulation Purush. Therefore, those who are along the format of a Gayatri Mantra are in fact preparing for a reach to have a transition for the format of a Purusha. We are a Purusha means when we are existing within the human frame. Therefore, the existence phenomenon within human body is the phenomenon which is going to be of the order, values, features and format of a Purusha. Those who are along the Gayatri Mantra format, they subsequently are preparing for and reach value of transition and transformation to a Purusha format. Once one will be along the Purusha format, then it will provide a Porsche reach. Let us have a revisit to the formulation Porsche. Now this Porsche will give us value 2, this is 10, this is 9 and this is 14. It is 23 plus 12 is equal to 35. This value 35, we know a value of 5, 7 grid, which accommodates all the 35 double-digit values of a 6-place value system. As such, this Porsche Vidya, as this is, will ultimately take us to that from the creative boundary of a transcendental domain, 4 space as a boundary, we will be having a reach at the 6 space, means the self-referral origin of the transcendental domain, or transcendental domain playing the role of a boundary. When this, we know that when the transcendental boundary component transcends, splits off, strips off and goes into the outer space, it dimensionalizes the outer space as a 7th space. It is this dimensionalization process will be a reach for those who are Gayatri Mantra and are ultimately transiting and transforming for the reach of a Porsche Vidya. From the Porsche Vidya, we will be having a reach for a Porsche, which means 36. This value 36 we know is the value which transcends. So there are 35 double-digit numbers of a 6-place value system along 5-7 grid, and the 36th number, 36th value transcends out of this grid. And further we know that this 36 is the value which becomes a 6 square. We know 6 square means 6 into 6 which constructs an 8 space, and it is here where we will be face to face with the phenomenon as to how the Vedic code is not availing the value 6 and value 8. It is this feature which deserves to be appreciated. It is this feature which deserves to be imbibed. One shall sit comfortably, permit the transcending mind to face with the Vedic code value, and this Vedic code value is a value system attached with 33 components. Out of these 33 consonants, only 31 consonants are being attached values, while the remaining 2 are being not attached any value. Now we know 31 is the transition value, is the synthesis value of a pair of linear order transcendence ranges, which means it is a formation of a transcendental carrier of a linear order. So transcendental carrier of a linear order is there, which is being availed by the Vedic code system. Now this Vedic code system will, when have a reach for the Akshar Vidya, means the Akshar Vidya means we have to avail all the 33. So when we will be availing all the 33 letters, that means we will be having a reach for 6 and 8. It is this value 6 and 8 would mean that we are at the 6th space, which is giving a synthesis value as equal to 8. Now it is this value which is a reach, so it is 36. It is this value 36 which is the value which we have a transcendence. Therefore, the path, the reach pillars, the enlightenment for the sadhakas who are on the Gayatri Mantra path shall sit comfortably, permit the transcending mind to face with the format of a Gayatri Mantra, which is availing a Vedic code which is availing transcendental code for it, but ultimately it is availing a Akshar Vidya. It is availing the vowels. The vowels are the counted. These vowels values here is making a setup of a 23 value, and it is this 23 value which deserves to be revisited seriously, so that one shall appreciate that what would be the reach. We know value 23. This value 23 is the TCV value of formulation Parvati. This value 23 is the value of Anant. This value 23 is the value of Shahastra. This value 23 is the value of a Sanskar. Let us have a pause here and permit the transcending mind to be face to face with this formulation Sanskar. These are the Sanskars, means which are the karmas. These karmas prints, these karmas which will fructify. Now these karmas are piling up. Because of these karmas, one is to have a reach within a Yamalok, because it is this phenomenon which is to be faced by the sadhakas for the end blissful liberation fruit. Therefore, we have to revisit this mantra which is provided this enlightenment base for the format. So this format of Gayatri Mantra of 3 limbs is provided a base. This quadruple base is of 1, 2 and 1. It is of 4 value syllable, with 23 plus 4 will make it 27, and this formulation 27 is the value of prarabdha. So from sanskars we will be reaching at the prarabdha, and then when we have a transcendence therefrom as Om, which again will be providing as a 1, it will take us to value 28, and it is value of a Brahm. It is here where the sadhakas along the Gayatri Mantra path will be ultimately will be burning their sanskaras and will be attaining their prarabdha. And with this prarabdha, when they will continue on the transcendental path, then they will be along the Brahman format. And it is this reach, it is this phenomenon which is the phenomenon which is being enlightened by the ancient wisdom textbook, particularly in the Kailash Samhita, by the Lord Skanda, by having a placement at the self-referral origin within the cavity of heart of Transcendental Lord. And the enlightenment of Lord Skanda is the Parana Vidya. This Parana Vidya we know is the Vidya which here is of a TCV value 36. So it is this value 36 which makes it Apaurshya. Now it is this Apaurshya, and Vidya itself is of TC value 18. It makes it value 54. This 54 we know is equal to 27 plus 27. Therefore, the Prarabdha and Nakshatra all come into play, and there is going to be an ultimate reach, a merger within the Brahm. It is here where we have to be face to face with. It would be a Sayujya, it would be a Saloke, it would be Sarupe, and it would be a Samipe. Therefore, we will be a nearer Samipe, we would be Saloke, we will be Sarupe, and then we will be Sayujya. These are the phases and stages which are going to be a transition from Paurshya Vidya to Apaurshya Vidya. This reach from the Paurshya Vidya to Apaurshya Vidya is a reach for which we are sequentially transiting, first starting with the Rudra Samhitas, triple Rudra Samhitas, coming to the Uma Samhita, then to a Kailash Samhita. Now finally we will be reaching a Vaivya Samhita. It is a Vaivya Samhita which will be the culmination of the wisdom of the Shiv Puran. This culmination format is going to be a format of a Panch Avaran. So the number value 5, which leads to 7, so 5-dimensional domain is unity state 7. It is going to be this reach, it is going to be this way, that their Vaivya Samhita will ultimately making Panch, Panchikaran, Panchmabhut, Panchavaran, and 5 folds, and transcendence from the 5 folds. Therefore, we will be again reaching at in a reverse orientation to a Parana Vidya. We will be coming back to the enlightenment of the Kailash Samhita of Lord Skanda. From here, we will be reaching to the Uma Samhita, and Uma Samhita will be taking us to the Rudra Samhitas. Rudra will be taking us to the Creator's Lord Brahma, and the whole phenomenon will be in its own cyclic order, and within this cyclic order will emerge the needed progression. Therefore, the sadhakas fulfilled with intensity of urge for having an enlightenment of the transcendental order shall put themselves upon the Gayatri Mantra path, and from the Gayatri Mantra path one shall sequentially reach at the Paurshya format, and from there to have an Apaurshya format. After one being an Apaurshya format, then would be within a Brahman domain. One will come nearer the Brahman domain. There would be Samipya, there would be nearness. From nearness, we will be having within a reach, within the same domain, Saloke. Within Saloke, we will be having Sarupe, the same forms, and after that we will be having a merger. It is this Jeev, Purush, Brahm. So Jeev, Atma, Purush and Brahm. These all are the phases and stages which are interlinked with birth, rebirth cycles, with the karmas and prarabdha, and the karmas, sanskar and prarabdha, and then there being a transcendental path of a Gayatri mantra taking to an Akshar Vidya, from Akshar Vidya reaching a Paursha Vidya, from Paursha Vidya to Apaursha Vidya, from Apaursha Vidya to be along the Brahman path, and with this there would be a reach from the perfect number 6, the first perfect number, the Surya Ank, the solar universe existence format, to the Brahman existence format, and then there would be Samipya, nearness, then there would be a within the same domain, entering and remaining in the same domain, then of the same forms, and ultimately the mergers of the form. These are the features, these are the values, this is a path, and this is the ancient path, it is the ancient wisdom, it is the ancient wisdom of enlightenment, it is the transcendental enlightenment, it is this transcendental enlightenment format which is a 5-space Vedic mathematics, science and technology format. This 5-space Vedic mathematics and technology format is the format which is of applied values, and these applied values run parallel to the pure values. Therefore, the sadhakas along the Gayatri mantra path shall continue with faith, and with intensity of urge as they are along the transcendental path whose end reach is the eternity. It is inherently embedded in this format itself. Once one is along a format which is inherently potentialized to have a reach for the transcendental urge as an eternity. It is this eternity of the existence phenomenon, it is this eternity of the Vedic knowledge, it is this eternity of the Vedic systems, it is this eternity of the Vedic mathematics which is being urged by us all. We wish you best. Let us all attain this eternity. It is with this blessings of the senior sadhakas, we the junior sadhakas will continue, and from this phase and stage we will be entering the next phase of the Vaiva Samhita. It is the 7th Samhita of the ancient wisdom textbook Shiv Puran. With this stage we will be having separate classes for the scholars visiting Devanagari format, Vedic mathematics teachers having orientation for the Vedic mathematics, then the students of Vedic mathematics, science and technology, then the Vedic mathematics, science and technology giving a reach for the ancient wisdom, and then ultimately the sadhakas urging for the attainment of end blissful fruit of the transcendental journey, which is going to be eternity. Thank you very much.